Hey everyone, and welcome to Fright, your weekly source for horror reviews. Since I'm going to be dipping into the slasher pool once again with Friday the 13th, I thought it might be fun to take a look at some of the imitations that it inspired. That's why this week, we'll be taking a look at 1986's Slaughter High. From what I've read, this movie was originally going to be called April Fool's Day, but another film wound up snatching the title, so the producers had to switch. It's kind of a shame since practical jokes are semi-central to the plot, such as it is. Anyway, there are some movies that tell you exactly what level of quality they are from the start, so let's see what this one has to say. Ooh boy, this one is gonna suck. Seriously, it's like they've taken the most annoying sound in the universe and decided to base their soundtrack around it. It's almost as if the movie's actually mocking you for pressing play. Who in the hell composed this anyway?
Contestants and spectators are reminded that...
You're shitting me. Harry Manfredini? That's right, the same man who composed the classic Friday the 13th theme is responsible for this mess. Given the change in quality, it seems to me that he owed somebody a favor, needed a paycheck, or maybe they just kidnapped his family and this score is his revenge. No matter what the case, the score definitely matches the quality of the film. The plot concerns a group of assholes who play a cruel April Fool's prank on the stereotypical school nerd, Marty Ranson. Something that's fairly standard for these movies, like in Terror Train, but these douchebags really go all out. They lure him to the girl's locker room by promising him sex, have him strip naked, surprise him, film him, jab him with a sharp stick, electrocute him, and give him a swirly. And I'm guessing that schools were a lot more lenient back then, since when the school's coach catches them, they get slapped on the wrist with detention. And how do they react to the news that they're not going to be expelled?
That stupid dork, Marty. It's all his fucking fault.
Yes, damn him for tricking you into molesting and humiliating him on camera. Damn him to hell! And of course there's only one way to pay him back for being such an awful human being, by trying to burn him to death in a chemical fire and searing off half his face with acid. Because let's face it, those are about the only things they didn't do to him before. So, fast forward to years later, and the douche brigade find themselves invited back for a school reunion, and consists entirely of themselves in an abandoned school on April Fool's Day, which is coincidentally the anniversary of the day they left somebody horribly disfigured. All this, and they still have the nerve to be surprised when someone shows up and starts killing them one by one. Now, even though the acting's no good, the directing's even worse, and the plot is about as paint-by-the-numbers as you can get, if Slaughter High does have one saving grace, it's the kills. It's as if all the thought and care that should have gone into the rest of the movie was poured into these sequences, and although there are a few standard impalements and such, we're also treated to a beer that makes your intestines explode, a literal acid bath, and a lawnmower disembowelment. They're all contrived as hell, but at least they show a bit of originality. The only other original thing in this movie is the ending, and unfortunately, I don't mean that as a compliment. At the end, Marty manages to corner the survivor girl and actually succeeds in killing her. That itself is actually kind of cool, given that all the characters are despicable assholes, but then things take a turn for the stupid when the idiots return from the dead as the lamest looking zombies I've ever seen. And as dumb as that is, it gets even dumber when it turns out to be just a dream Marty was having after getting skin grafts to his face. Of course, after waking up, he wastes no time celebrating his new lease on life the only way he knows how. By murdering every medical staff member he can get his hands on and ripping his own face off. You know, if you don't stop picking, that'll never heal. Anyway, in spite of a few good kills, the bad definitely outweighs the good here. Bad lighting, terrible music, poor directing, and even worse acting mean that I can only recommend this one for hardcore slasher fans. And even then, only after a few beers. But not those kind of beers. Anyway, that's all we have time for this week. I'll see you next time on Fright Bites.